What actually happened to the notorious Conor McGregor? What's up, boys? We're back. Today we're going to be talking about the career of Conor McGregor, and we're going to be fantasy matchmaking his return right after that. So if you guys aren't already, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 800 subscribers by the end of the year, so it would mean a lot if you could go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But, let's break down the career, the legendary career of the notorious Conor McGregor. So Conor McGregor started off his career in 2013 in the UFC. So it's been 12 years since Conor McGregor's debut, which is pretty crazy to think about if you're an old head. Conor McGregor's first fight was against some guy named Mark Brimage. Mark Brimage had been around in the UFC for a little bit. He was a bit of an old head, and Conor McGregor, he put this guy to sleep in under a round. So there's that. Then we move on to Conor McGregor's next fight, which was against the blessed Max Holloway, where this is one of the only decision wins in Conor McGregor's career. Conor McGregor defeated Max Holloway ununanimous at UFC Fight Night. And his next fight was against Diego Brando, which he won by KO. His fight after that was against someone you may know this guy, guys. Dustin Poirier. His fight was after that. Dennis Silver he had after that. And this is when we started getting to know Conor McGregor. This is when he was starting to get established. So what did the UFC do? They give him an interim title shot. Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes. Conor McGregor knocked out Chad Mendes in that second round, winning his first interim title, which would be his first technical championship in UFC history. The fight after this, though, I'm sure we all recall the fight after this. Conor McGregor knocking out Jose Aldo in just 13 seconds. 2015, so that fight was almost 10 years ago, which is also pretty freaking crazy to see how fast Conor McGregor rose and how long it's been since that iconic moment. One of the sport's greatest moments ever. His fight after that was a loss against Nate Diaz. I want to talk about this Nate Diaz loss for a second, though, because when people see a loss to Nate Diaz on Conor McGregor's resume, automatically we're just accustomed to believing, oh, this guy sucks, dude. He lost to Nate Diaz. How do you lose to Nate Diaz, especially after coming off such a great win like Jose Aldo? That's exactly the problem. This guy was fighting Jose Aldo at featherweight. He moved up 2 weight classes to welterweight on short notice and was piecing up Nate Diaz, and then he got gassed out, and then he lost to Nate Diaz by submission, and he got the win back a fight later. So obviously Conor McGregor avenged that win eventually, and after that Nate Diaz win, the UFC gave him that double champ fight. They gave him the fight against Eddie Alvarez, which was one of the, if you ask me, Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez is one of the best showings of an MMA fighter ever. Conor McGregor beat Eddie Alvarez by KO in the second round. He pieced him up all before that. The whole first round, Conor McGregor was on him, and he just looked iconic, dude. In that next fight, we have the biggest fight in UFC history, Khabib Nurmagomedov. He lost this by submission. The build-up was insane. Everything about this fight was insane, and this fight will never be forgotten. It'll always be in the record books. The highest selling gate in UFC history, all of that. The biggest fight in UFC history. After that, he came back 2 years later. He came back 2 years later to fight Donald Cerrone at welterweight, which was a pretty free win if you're asking me. He knocked him out by KO in the first round, and that was a pretty free win. And after that, the next 2 fights he had were his first time getting knocked out. Against Dustin Poirier in January of 2021, he lost by KO. In July of 2021, Conor McGregor again lost by TKO, kind of a doctor stoppage. He snapped his ankle in half. And then that's the last we ever seen of Conor McGregor. It has been 4 years since this man last fight, and it's been a rough 4 years if you're asking me, dude. He's only 36. I said only, but 4 years ago this man was at 32. That is so crazy to think about. And you see Conor McGregor now. He's at these bare knuckle fighting championship fights, and he's promoting them, and he looks horrible if you're asking me, dude. The guy looks like he's 50, like he's overweight, like he's doing hardcore drugs, and it's not looking good. So if you were asking me honestly, do I ever think Conor McGregor would return to the UFC? I would tell you no. But if you were asking me from the kid who watched Conor McGregor as a kid, I would tell you yes. Because there's always a chance in this sport, in this crazy sport. So what we're going to be doing right now is matchmaking the return of Conor McGregor. This is going to be a little bit satire because it is probably super unlikely that Conor McGregor actually returns and that Conor McGregor ever fights for a title again. That is ridiculous to say. But if it did happen, if there is a chance that Conor McGregor ever did fight for a title again or even came back, this is my prediction on how it would go. So, Conor McGregor, if he gets in camp now, he comes back at UFC 317 International Fight Week in the co-main event against Manny Moicano. Let me tell you something. This fight would sell big. You put this as the co-main event to Ilya Islam or the co-main event to freaking John Jones Aspinall. This fight would sell big. As a co-main event, Moicano knows how to sell pay-per-views, and I don't even have to tell you that McGregor knows how to sell pay-per-views. These guys, Moicano needs a bounce back win, and that could be Conor McGregor. Who knows how washed McGregor is at this state? And even if McGregor does lose, that'd be a good send off to his UFC career. And I'm gonna go if we get even a decent McGregor coming back to fight Moicano, I think McGregor is gonna win that. So after that, you're probably wondering, what do we do? Conor McGregor just fought at UFC 317 against Moicano in my fantasy prediction. Who do we give next? If Conor McGregor wins that fight at UFC 321, ladies and gentlemen, just 4 pay-per-views after, he's doing a 4 pay-per-view turnover, he fights Justin the Highlight Gaethje at UFC 321. Justin Gaethje needs a fight. He needs a retirement fight. He needs a #1 contender fight. He needs a lot of things, and I think Conor McGregor fills a lot of those. Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor, a fight that we've never seen, a fight that people always talk about seeing, about how this would have went. And both of these guys aren't in their prime anymore, but it would still be an instant classic if Conor McGregor and Justin Gaethje fought. This could be a great send-off fight for Justin Gaethje, and even a great send-off fight for McGregor. I'm booking these guys against fighters who are going to be fun. We're not going to give Conor McGregor some Beneil Dariush in his final fight in the UFC. That doesn't make any sense, and that's not fun. So Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor at UFC 321. And after this, at UFC 329, we do Conor McGregor versus Islam Makhachev, the 100 pay-per-view anniversary of Conor McGregor Khabib. Oh my! Is this world-class matchmaking or what, dude? Islam Makhachev versus Conor McGregor, UFC 329, exactly 100 pay-per-views after UFC 229, where Conor McGregor obviously lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov. And I'm gonna be honest, do I think Conor McGregor wins this at all? Do I even think Conor McGregor gets past Justin Gaethje? Probably not. But if this did happen, if the stars aligned perfectly, then that's how I think the rest of Conor McGregor's career could go. Thank you much for watching. Octagon Outpost out.